I think this was extremely helpful. I'm going to have to think it was helpful for Councilor Burdenshaw, just being in the room. I know that she's watched all the videos and she's talked to staff and all that stuff, but we're in a stage right now with a new councilor coming in where we're reiterating lots of different pieces of information now in the future. So I think it makes a lot of sense. I've seen this presentation before, and my thoughts on this haven't changed from the last time I had a conversation amongst council members about this. Public comment and the public outreach process took place in 2019, pre-pandemic, and with no excuse for participation. Every question you may have today, you saw this exact same information. So maybe you're looking at it with different eyes or a different perspective, and I'm certainly not faulting anybody from that, but I think back to May 2020 in this process where we had another issue come before us where we had 300 emails that I kept track of, nearly as many phone calls. I had nearly 600 people contact me about one issue in a 72-hour period of time. So I know that the public knows how to get a hold of us. I know that when a publicly noticed conversation happens, I have absolutely no doubt that if someone wants to converse with us, even during a pandemic, we learned very quickly that they found a way. I have no doubt then, and I have no doubt now, that the public process related to the water tower location was sound and followed very carefully, and certainly obtained opinions from all different kinds of people. I think you did see an overwhelming amount of comments from people who simply just did not want the disruption and the removal of parking. That was very important to them, right? But I think that, staff moved forward with the capital location based upon a sound process. And, we've learned here today, and I think we all knew this, that based upon that conversation, the city did expend, funds. They expended real dollars, approximately 120,000 of them. And I know that when we expend taxpayer dollars, that we're not doing so lightly. And I guess I'm looking at if there's been any evidence of sort of misdirection or mismanagement or any reason legally or otherwise to change that process, because I think that's fundamental to whether or not we're literally going to choose to waste money spent. I have already done the homework, as I'm sure many of you have, regarding, well, can't we just reuse that money we've already spent? The answer is no. I certainly understand if someone has what I would sort of consider to be buyer's remorse, because we have bought something, or doubt for that matter, or they feel like they've learned something new recently, or maybe they didn't understand something to the same extent a year ago they do now. And I don't have any judgment against anyone who feels that way. I just personally don't feel that way. And I think that when we are expending taxpayer dollars, or we have already done so, there has to be an urgent, legal, ethical, or severely ethical reason to waste $120,000 and change our minds without really no new information. So I also, furthermore, I don't agree to, I think, some of the opinions that have been brought forward that the water tower is going to ruin Capitol Park. My now 15-year-old son learned to ride his bike in that park. I spent 3 years on the board of directors of the art museum next door. I spent my time in Capitol Park. And when you look at places from Kansas City to Gilbert, Arizona to Bowling Green, Kentucky, you have literally dozens of parks around the country. Dozens and dozens and dozens. Just Google it. It's not that hard. Featuring water towers in them amongst green space. And I've visited the space, I've looked at how much will be removed, and I continue to feel comfortable with the decision that we made over a year ago. So I am still at where I was then today, Mayor.